We talked about when you first met. We talked about when did you ask her to marry her? Where did you ask her to marry you? And did she say yes the first time?
I was at Penn State. I'd entered the military. It was at Penn State, going to meteorology school, and I used to try to come home every weekend, which was kind of difficult. It was a 300-mile trip from Utica, New York to Penn State, and I had no car, so I would hitchhike every weekend. And sometimes I made it, and sometimes I didn't make it. But I asked her to marry me after I was at Penn State. I asked her by phone. I talked to her on the telephone and asked her to marry me.
By phone?
By phone.
I don't remember that. That's good.
And
Wow.
And her mother said, "You sure you want to do this, Dorothy?"
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I know you don't remember anything.
That's the God, I don't remember.
You asked her by a phone. That's a long distance call.
It's a long distance call.
Yeah.
That's right.
Do you remember that, Mom?
No, I don't remember him asking me on the phone.
And she said yes?
Well,
Or did she have to think about it?
no, I think she said yes right away. She said, but her mother had to make sure that she really wanted to do this.
Did you really want to do it, Mom?
Naturally.
You don't remember?
She didn't hesitate.
She didn't hesitate?
No.
She said yes. How long have you been dating?
Well, I told you, actually not seriously, but we knew each other well before we got married. From 1949 until 1953, certainly a number of years went by, and we had been going out many times in that interval. So we knew each other very well.
All right. You said you asked her to marry her by phone. She said yes. Mm-hmm. What year was that? Do you remember?
Yeah, it had to be 1953.
And you got married the same year?
Pardon?
Yeah.
We got engaged at Easter time that year. And we were married in September 12th. Of 1953. Incidentally, September 12, 1953, the same year and day that JFK and his bride got married.
That's right.
So 7 months between the time you asked her to get married.
Yeah,
Is that because of your school?
The reason for that is because I was still going to school. I was in the Air Force, and I was still going to Penn State. And I knew that following my graduation from Penn State that I would be going down to Texas for 3 months, and then after that, probably overseas.
Wow. Talk to me about who was your best man at your wedding? Who was your maid of honor? Who was your best man at your wedding?
The best man at the wedding was my high school friend Jimmy Carville.
Wow. And who was your maid of honor?
Was it Marion?
Marion.
What's her name? Marion?
Marion Abadator Starjewski.
That doesn't sound Lebanese.
No, she married a Polish guy.
Yeah.
Her name was Abadator. Her maiden name was Abadator. She was also one of the girls of that sorority that Dorothy was a member of.
There's our telephone.
No, that's my phone.
Mm.
So, who were your sisters in your bridesmaids?
Just Betty.
Just Betty, I think.
Was AJ in the wedding?
No.
No, he wasn't in the wedding. Anthony was not in the wedding. AJ was not in the wedding. No.
How about, what church did you get married at?
St. Louis Gonzaga.
St. Louis Gonzaga. Wow. And where did you go on your honeymoon?
Where did we go?
Did you have a honeymoon?
We went there. Where did we go on that?
We
I forgot where we went.
prior to the wedding, Dorothy's Aunt Amy convinced Uncle John to sell us a $50 Plymouth.
Oh, that's right, too.
And so that was our car. That was our car. Our first car.
Yeah.
A 1940 Plymouth.
Oh.
This was 1953. And we took it, and after the ceremony, we had a small reception because Sitto's brother had died 3 months before, and she was still in mourning.
Yeah.
So we were not able to invite any of her family to the wedding reception. So we had mostly our family there. Anyway, after the reception, we went to Syracuse, New York, and then from Syracuse to Niagara Falls, then across into Canada, and across to the east all the way into Vermont, into New England, and back home through New York State. All this in our $50 car.
Wow. Wow.
That's right.
$50 car. And Sito wore black to your wedding?
Sito wore black for the wedding.
She was in mourning.
She was still in. Well, she was. I honestly believe she was more concerned about what her Lebanese friends would say than anything else.
No.
Face was very important.
Okay.